This episode, listener discretion is strongly advised. This story includes graphic descriptions of violence and discussions of murder and assault that some may find offensive. We advise extreme caution for children under 16. Driving along Date Tree Hill, not even the beauty of the morning sunshine beaming on the verdant trees that lined the lonely road could distract Caroline from the memory of her son's dead body lying in a coffin from just 2 weeks before. The sight of his bloodshot eyes peering at her, his once supple skin turned rock hard, and the gnawing of insects at the gash in his chest came radiating back every time she saw a photo of him. Since his death, Carol had spent her days at home, spurning the calls of her body for food, avoiding the calls and desperate knocks at the door from friends, family, and neighbors, and slept for hours on end. Holding on to DeMarco's clothes was the closest she got to feeling the warmth of his body. Holding on to DeMarco's clothes was the closest she got to feeling the warmth of his body once again. But it was hardly enough. Each time she did, she cried a fresh batch of tears down her already despondent face, as all the memories of him would come swirling back again. His birth, his first words, his first steps, every birthday, every Christmas, every school day. The fights, the hugs, his eyes, his smile, his laugh. Every part of him had been lost in an instant. Today marked the first day that she had dared to venture outside, solely because she couldn't delay the funeral arrangements any longer. His body had been lying in the morgue for days, and now she finally had to face the fact that her son wasn't coming back. As she drove along the sunlit road, she started to adjust the rearview mirror and panicked. She lost control of the car, tires screeching to a halt against the asphalt as she barely regained control before careening into a nearby gully. The car sat sideways, blocking the road, smoke billowing from the tires as she sat there, trying to comprehend what she had just seen. In the reflection, she was haunted by the sight of her son's dead body sitting in the back seat, staring right at her. What could be summed up as a delusion of grief left Carol shaking like a leaf in heavy wind, and her heavy breathing transformed into raw tears. She leaned onto the steering wheel, horn blaring, not phasing her pain, and she thought to herself, God, why take Marco? Why not take me instead? Her crying was only drowned out by the screams and honks of other drivers that she blocked. She barely gained a bit of her composure, wiped the tears from her puffy face, and started the car. But before she could drive off, the radio cut in with a break in the case.